Hello, I have some exciting news, and that is that I designed my own fountain inks. There's actually three colors. The first one is called Start Your Day or Else, and it's like a purplish gray. There's like some reds in here just because red's my favorite color. Surprisingly, none of them are red though, because I'm very picky with red, so that will just have to be another day. The second one is called Don't Be Gloomy or Else, and it's a grayish blue with some hints of yellow in there as well. I'm actually in my gray era, so I had to make some grays. And then this one is called Have a Nice Day or Else. And if you know anything about my brand, this is my main tagline. It's a green because I'm super into green right now with some hints of red as well. I'm really excited about these, so we're gonna swatch them today. My office is quite messy, but while I give you guys some context, I just wanted to let you guys see how Calcifer is doing. And if you're new to this journey, Calcifer is my sister's cat, and I've been watching him for like 2+ years. He got really sick last year and he was super skinny and he was not okay, but now he's okay. Look at him. This is his new spot in the house. It's just this area where it gets hot in the office and the sun just hits just right here, and yeah, he's just sleeping here the whole time. Yeah, if you're new here, my name is Ange. I'm also known as Pikarar. I'm an illustrator and I do a million things. I make lots of things. I write books. I own 2 brick-and-mortar stores. One is in Seattle and the other is in California. I also travel for trade shows, and a year ago in February-ish, I got into fine writing and fountain inks, and that has been my new hobby. It's been really fun. I've met a lot of new people. The community is super nice and I love making those type of videos for you guys here, and just chatting with the community has been, I think, one of the best parts about it. And fast forward, we sell stationery and inks and papers at our stores, and I have an ink series now. This is Nori. Hi Nori. The inks were made in collaboration with Tono and Limbs. It is a Korean and Japanese brand. It's founded by 2 partners. One is in Japan and the other is in Korea. It was a really fun project to work with them back and forth. We figured out what the colors would look like and what the multi-chroma shading would appear like. What does it look like on different types of paper? I designed the packaging all by myself, and that was super fun because I have a design background and it's been a hot minute since I've worked on anything packaging related, so it really reignited that packaging spark for me. I've been making these swatches not related to the inks that I've been working on, but I've just been making these swatches for inks that I recently got and inks that we got in our stores, and they're just, you know, fun little doodles with the name of the brands, the name of the ink, and then some samples of what it looks like if you're swatching it in large globs or if you're just writing it with a small nib. And I've had some questions around, what is that? Is this a template? Like, is this something that you can print, or is this a little template that you can follow? But no, I literally am just drawing these little blobs and then turning it into a sheet where you can see all the different colors. So I thought it'd be fun today if we just went through and did it on camera so that you guys can see how I do the swatchings. I'll go over all the materials and everything you would need, and if you're just here for a good time, then grab your water and yeah, we'll just swatch and have a good time. My desk is a mess, like always. You know, I don't have those aesthetic desks that a lot of people on Pinterest or Instagram have. I just can't keep it clean for the life of me. And I'm starting so many projects all the time that I'll have project 1 here, project 2 here, project 3, and then I need to clear it all out for the next project. So that's kind of what happened with this project. I was like, okay, I do want to swatch some of my ink, so I'm just gonna clear everything out. So yeah, it's kind of chaos right now, but here are all the supplies that you will need if you're going to swatch your own little sheet. The first thing is a piece of paper. So the paper is very important for any type of like fountain ink or, you know, swatching. This paper that I'm using is a cotton paper. It's actually something that I am developing with another paper mill, so TBD on information for this, but I love how it takes the ink. It's just so vibrant, and I love that you can see all of the different shading qualities and colors. Another paper that I have also been swatching on is Waringall's paper. So you can just get Waringall's blank cotton paper. It feels very durable and it takes inks very well just because it is designed for fountain inks. But the paper that I will be using today in this video is Tomoe River paper. I've been using their warm paper, but you can use their white one as well. It's called Cream, and Tomoe is just known for taking fountain inks and colors very vibrantly, so that's what we're gonna do today. I have 3 main writing tools that I use. This one is just a regular glass dip pen. There's nothing too special about this. The one I got is from Ink House, which is a brand in Korea. I literally just went to a trade show and I got this from just one of their stands. I don't know if they have a physical store. If anyone knows anything about that, let me know. But I can't find it anywhere online. Actually, I think this brand is based in China, ? But I bought it in Korea at an illustration fair. The other 2 tools that I will be using are these dip pens. So I have 2 that I'm using and they're from a calligraphy set. This is the set that I got. It's the Bros, is that how you say it? The Bros nibs. So one of them is a nib that is more like a flex, and you'll need the flex to get something like this cursive motif. It allows you to get those thin strokes and the thick strokes when you're doing that that kind of motion. Don't drink this, Calcifer. Not for you, sir. And then the second nib that I have is a little bit more chiseled, and that allows you to get this kind of calligraphy on top here where I wrote tonal and limbs. I used to do calligraphy a long time ago and I did learn a bit in college, but I forgot everything, so we're just gonna wing it today. But I like using these 2 nibs just to get that variety when I'm swatching, and then the rest is all up to the glass nib. So I use this for the main writing and the main swatching, the large globs of ink here. You will also need a jar or glass of water, and this is just to clean out your brushes and your nibs. And then I like to just have a little paper towel or a cloth that you can use to wipe away the ink as well. This is also to help dab some of the ink off of the paper to create some variations in the shading. The last material I would recommend is washi tape, and the reason you would need washi tape is so that you can put down your template. Originally, I freestyled all of these, but I did make a template just to make my life a little bit easier. So I literally just made this, guys. I don't know. I think you can make your own, or maybe if you want to use mine, let me know. I could potentially upload it or something, but it's so chicken scratch. It's just grids, and then I made these squares here. As you can see, that's what you get if you follow the template. But like I said, in the past, I just freeformed it. I didn't really, there's no measuring involved, but I think just for today, I'll show you how to use a grid, something like this. Yeah, you can just print out your own grid and then decide how you want to do your swatches. But if you get a piece of paper and you put it in front of the grid, you can kind of see it underneath like this. So that's why I would recommend using washi, because then you can just secure down the paper and the template. All right, so the first thing that I would recommend is to get the washi tape to secure down this template. I just use my trash washi tape. You know, when you have so many different washis and they're beautiful and you wouldn't want to waste them, but these are some samples that I got from manufacturers, and yeah, I'm gonna sacrifice them. I'm gonna prep some of the inks, and these are the 3 that I will be swatching. They're designed by yours truly. I came up with the color variations, I came up with all of the packaging, and the entire thing is inspired by Seattle and the PNW, just because I moved there a couple years ago. It became my home. I still am there, and yeah, I wanted to just do a tribute to the PNW and some of the colors that I've been seeing. The first thing I do for this template is I just add a glob of ink.
It can be really messy. It's not really meant to be perfect. I feel like I say that for a lot of things that I do. It's not meant to be perfect. It's just for fun. It's just a glob of ink. So I try to not apply that much pressure because I don't want the streaks or the lines and scratches from the dip pen. I'll just loosely add globs of ink on top, and then areas where there's a lot of ink pooling, I might just dab a little bit from my paper towel or tissue to create this color variation. It's cool because it lifts the ink up, and then there's this ghost ink that remains, and that creates another color. So I just like to do that just to get the max color variation possible. And then right below the glob, I'll also do just this like squiggly line of ink, and that's also another way to get variation. For the first line of text, I usually include where the brand or where this ink is from. So because I was one of the designers for this and I made it in collaboration with Tonal and Limbs, I'm using my Bros calligraphy nib and I'm just writing it in this gothic-like font. It's been so long since I've done calligraphy, so I'm kind of winging it, but I feel like this nib just makes me want to write in this way, in this font. So yeah, we're just winging it. I do love the stroke variation, so whenever I do swatching, I try to use this nib just because it's fun. It's fun to look at. And then I go back in and I'll do the name of the ink just in the regular glass nib in my handwriting, or I don't know, in some like cute all caps font. This is literally just my handwriting. And I'll also do some little doodles so I can get some, I guess, like pooling effects or variations in ink pooling that comes from a finer nib versus that giant glob of ink on top. By the way, I got the Bros calligraphy nib from Asia when I was back there in Japan. It's in the Jumbocho area, which is like the bookstore area of Japan, and there's like a cute little stationery store there. The store is called Bumpoto, and I also got the flex nib that you see here I'm using. I like using this flex nib because I can get really thin lines and then really thick lines. It's just so juicy and yeah, really fun to work with. These are calligraphy nibs, and when I was speaking to some of the fine writing folks and stores in Japan, they made it very clear and they were very specific to call out that these are calligraphy nibs, not fountain pen nibs. And I think when I first started this hobby, I thought, oh, calligraphy, fountain pens, those are all the same thing, but they're actually not the same thing, at least in Japan's eyes. They see fine writing and fountain pens as a higher tier hobby, or this thing that is more focused on writing, whereas calligraphy is more closely tied to art, which is why I got the calligraphy nibs from an art store, the one called Bumpoto. So I'm gonna do the same with this swatch as well. The Don't Be Gloomy or Else color. It's like a grayish color and it has some blues and greens and yellows in it. I'm in my gray era right now. When I was first developing these inks, I wanted to make sure that I got a gray that I don't own yet, and I also love green, so infusing some kind of yellowish and greens into a gray was my goal, and I'm really happy with how it came out. The previous color, Start Your Day or Else, is also like a grayish, but it's more leaning purples and reds. I actually wanted to highlight more of the red in that first ink just because red is my staple color, and if you know anything about my brand, I love red. I use the tag phrase have a nice day or else, so that's the inspiration from that first color. It's also called Start Your Day or Else because sometimes in the early mornings of the PNW, you just kind of get this like grayish, purplish color in the sky. Sometimes it's not even in the sky, it's just a feeling, and I wanted to convey that feeling in that ink. The second color, the Don't Be Gloomy, is literally what most people think of when they think of Seattle. It's so rainy there, it's so gloomy there, but there's also something beautiful about it. So I wanted to convey that feeling in this color. It's not just straight up rain color, and it's not just straight up like a sad color. There are variations of yellow, which I'll show you guys later when this ink dries, but there are variations of other colors in here that I wanted to really highlight and just show that there's more to just this gloomy area. And yeah, there's hints of colors and it's very beautiful. You'll notice for this flex nib that I'm doing, there were parts where the ink wasn't flowing. I find that with calligraphy nibs, you have to hold it a specific way, a specific angle, and you need like just the right amount of ink in there. So that's where you'll get kind of that scratchiness, and sometimes the ink doesn't fully commit to the paper. But I find that just dipping it again into the ink bottle and then going back over in the paper, it will just pick back up again. This last color is called Have a Nice Day or Else, and it is a green with some hints of red. And this is the one that I had some trouble making just because in the beginning I wanted a yellow that was mixed in with a green, but it was creating this very bright lime color and the yellow wasn't showing up at all. It was sticking to the green too much. It was just turning the green more lime, and I wasn't getting the variations of yellow and green separating that I wanted. So in the end, I added a little bit more red, and the red shows when the ink dries and cools, but there's also highlights of yellow. So I'm really happy with how this one came out as well. It ended up being a mixture of greens, yellows, and just the right amount of red. So yeah, quite happy with this one. The concept behind this one is in the summers, Seattle's beautiful. I would say, like, as someone who grew up on the West Coast in California, I love California, don't get me wrong. I think at the end of the day, I am just a California girl that loves sun. But I think the summers in Seattle, they're just perfect. They're elite. It's everything about it is amazing. I love hiking, I love nature, and the weather is just immaculate. All the trees are bloomed, all the flowers come out, and we have so many variations of greens and different plants. So this color is to embody just that feeling of peak Seattle. So yeah, you transition from this kind of gray morning and these rare sightings of Seattle where you see that kind of sleepy vibe, and then you transition into the second color, which is what people think of when they think of gloomy Seattle, and then you kind of bloom and come out with this really bright green color. So that's my concept for these three colors. I hope you guys like them and like the story behind them. If you get the packaging, you can also see my story written on top of the packaging. I wanted to include some of my thoughts on the box and yeah, just explain a bit more about where these inks are coming from. The last thing I'll do with the swatches is I'll go back with the original color and just use my dip pen and maybe like a fine nib and just go over some details. So I'm adding the faces, the nose, the eyebrows, and just the little features that makes this little character pop out and not just be a blob. So make sure that the ink blob is dry, or else if you're adding ink on top and details, it might smudge, it might bleed and feather. So highly recommend for you to wait for this to be dry. There's been so many times where I was impatient and I tried to go back and add the details before the ink was dry, but it just creates such a mess. So I usually do this at the end by the time that all the ink has dried so that I can avoid any of that feathering that happens. This part is probably one of my favorite parts too, because you can finally see the illustration come to life. I think at first it just looks like a terrible blob or something that, it's not finished, but adding the details is always so fun. You can also add these little marks on the feet, and then sometimes I'll break up the shape and create additional shapes. So like I'm adding the back leg here and adding even more ink so that it can really show the back leg. And yeah, once you're done, you can take it off of the template and carefully peel off the washi tape so that you don't peel off the paper as well. But this is the final look on Tomoe River paper. And just because this paper is meant to highlight the best qualities of fountain inks, you can really see the color variations in these. In the first one, you really see the purples, blues, and reds. In the center one, you can see those hints of yellow that I was talking about. And in that green color, there's also the reds and yellows. I'll have these inks available at Stationery Fest in New York. I'm debuting them there for the first time. And then I'm planning to have a launch party in Seattle at our store, Happy Hues. Then probably in late August or September, I'll have them online. So yeah, we'll have to wait a little bit. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and sticking around for me yapping about inks and just swatching my inks. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay tuned for the inks to be launched online or in person. Bye!